Hello and welcome to this video on Dev Sports. I'm Sneashish Mukherjee and I've been joined by Trishadi. And in this video, we're going to discuss about Ireland's performance in the recently concluded ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026. So Ireland were in the Group 2 along with New Zealand,
England, New Zealand, West Indies,
Scotland, Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. Oh.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And in that group, they ended up at the last position.
I have this Japan jersey. Oh, so sorry.
Okay. So in that group, they ended up at the last position. Only one win in 5 games, 4 losses, 2 points, and with a net run rate of minus 0.875. But that only win came against West Indies, a historical win. It was their last group
stage game. And could have knocked West Indies up?
Yes, absolutely. Because at that time, if New Zealand could have beaten England at that game, New Zealand could have gone through to play the semi-finals. But it was lucky for West Indies that New Zealand.
I hope New Zealand team has given a call to Ireland to thank you for giving us the chance.
But they couldn't make the most of it. But yes, but moving on, I think it was a historical win for them. But there were so many games where they could have done a bit more and they could have won those games. Like against New Zealand, where they were very close to win that game. Against England also, they bowled pretty well. But yes, unfortunately, England closed that game. So how do you see, Tushari, their performance as an associated nation? Because obviously, when it comes to associated nation, we always talk about, the inexperience and all. But over the years, we have seen Ireland playing a lot of cricket. And heading into this tournament, we also saw that they are bringing a level up when it comes to their performance. Few players are chipping in and they are going for that, the next level stuff. Yeah. But overall, how the tournament went for them according to you?
See, when the tournament began, I think in one of the videos I had said, for me, I will be looking out for, for me, dark horse will be Ireland. That way I was a little disappointed because I did expect them to cause upsets. The West Indies game does prove that they are capable of the upsets. Again, the New Zealand game, they had almost pulled up an upset, but again, almost does not help you. You either have upset a team or not. There's no almost there. And I felt that, yes, you're right. Kind of with Ireland is the same situation with Pakistan. Coming into the tournament, they had reached one level up. Now they have come back half a level. Had they not won the West Indies one, I would have said come back that one level, but they came back half a level. And behind the scenes, we were actually, before starting, I was telling you that instead of saying that we are reviewing the Ireland team, say we are reviewing the Orla team, because it was all about Orla Pendergast, and that is where the difference is between the big teams and the associate nations or the smaller teams. When I say smaller teams, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I'm just trying to say that, look, they're heavily dependent on individual performances. And when you look at the highest run getter, it's Orla Pendergast, highest wicket taker. And this is for Ireland particularly, it's Orla Pendergast. But you cannot be depending on one person and winning the game. For example, the New Zealand game, I think is the biggest example. Gabby Lewis and Orla Pendergast, still they were there. All of us knew.
They were in contention.
They were not only in contention, they were way ahead. The game was theirs to lose and they lost it.
Yes. When they both got out and they couldn't finish the job.
So a team has 11 members, cannot be about 2 only.
Absolutely. But as we were mentioning Orla Pendergast, regarding her stats, with the bat, 181 runs in 5 innings, average 36.20 with a strike rate of 125 for 6-9 and 2 50s. So that says the impact that she had. Now with the ball as well, 6 wickets in 5 innings. So an all-rounder, I think there's a lot of going on social media as well, that when it comes to associated nation right now, she is the number 1 all-rounder. There's no doubt about that. And if you see also, if I'm not wrong, when it comes to ICC ranking, I think she is among the top 10 or top 8 maybe. So yeah, she has been doing well, but as Trishadi mentioned, that only one player cannot win you big games continuously. 1 or 2 games here and there, okay. But if you as a team, if you really need to go one step above, as a team, as a unit, you have to click, be it with the bat, be it with the ball. Okay, let me read out the campaign that they had, how the campaign went match by match. 1 second. Okay, so
Orla Pendergast, sorry. In T20s, Orla Pendergast is at number 3.
See, number 3. I was saying we don't know within number 8 or number 10 maybe she was there. So within top 3,
yeah, she's sharing number 3 with Chamari Atapattu.
See, Chamari Atapattu and Orla Pendergast the same level.
And by the way, Ashley Gardner is behind. Deepti Sharma is behind.
Just think of it.
Deepti I can still understand is behind, but Ashley Gardner is behind. Fatima Sana, Marizanne Cap, right?
Just think of it. cup it. Okay,
So we are reviewing the Ola team.
no doubt about
Yeah.
it. Yes. Okay, let me talk about the campaign, how it unfolded. The first match was against Scotland. They conceded 161 for 5. In replay, they got bundled out for 121. I think this
I'm
was the game.
interrupting. This was the game I thought they will
Yeah.
win. I thought they
Yes.
are going to
They should
win
have won.
against Scotland. I had expected them to bat much better, and it's not only because they lost by 40 runs. I just thought the intent wasn't very clear about where they are taking it. And with Ireland, one thing is clear, that Orla is supposed to play the longish game. You might say that does not work in T20s, but in teams like Ireland, that has to be the
Yes,
case.
yes.
One person has to hold one end, and Orla is the one who's going to be the pivot around whom the other batters will
chip
play.
in.
Yeah, but that chip in is not happening.
Then the second game against England, they batted, scored 118 for 9. Obviously, another failure with the bat.
Yeah.
But with the ball, they were pretty impressive.
Yeah.
They managed to take 6 wickets, but eventually England won the game with 2.3 overs to spares. Then the third game against New Zealand, as we were discussing, New Zealand scored only 140 for 6, and they were batting brilliantly. Both Gabby Lewis and Ola scored 50s each. But when they got out, eventually they lost the match by only 4 runs. So they are very close, but yet so far. Then the next game was against Sri Lanka. Ireland scored 130 for 5. In replay, Sri Lanka just hammered them, winning the game by 9 wickets. And who else? Chamari Adabatu scored that brilliant unbeaten century. Yes. And it was in Bristol and Chamari Adabatu, another love story.
Yeah.
Yes. And the last game, the historical one. Again, West Indies batted first, 128 for 7. Ireland batted brilliantly with 1.5 over to spare, and with 6 wickets in hand, they chased down and won the game by 6 wickets. So, Trishadi, obviously, we saw, as we mentioned, that there are so many chances where they could have grabbed and the result could have been defined. But what is the future for Ireland? More matches,
Yeah, definitely.
maybe against a bit above teams, so that they can understand and they can get that experience. Because playing in a World Cup, playing in such crunch situation, again in a top tournament like World Cup, you
Yeah.
need those experience. Otherwise, it will be difficult for any time for any player.
Yes, I think you have put it rightly. To win the crunch moments is extremely important, and to win the crunch moments, they need to start playing against teams who are much better than them. Bangladesh, Pakistan, all right, but they should start playing more of the West Indies, the New Zealand. Why not try and get a tournament with a small bilateral series with England A? If not England, I think teams like Ireland should be teams like Ireland, teams like Scotland, Netherlands. I think they should also try to arrange bilaterals with, say, the India A's, the England A's. You don't have to always play with the senior team, because there the skill level is so different that you might get completely, bamboozled, and you feel, oh, we don't know what is cricket.
We don't belong here.
We don't belong here. But with India A's, the under 19s, wherever, you start playing against the higher ranked teams, or the teams which have a much better skill set than you. That is where I think you will start capitalizing on those crunch moments. As far as Ireland's future as of now is concerned, the FTP is Ireland is actually touring England for 3 ODIs
Nice.
in the month of September.
Nice.
Absolutely, it'll be a fantastic experience for them. Yeah, that's about it.
As of now,
As of now, that's the FTP. But I would love that FTP to increase, because there's Champions Trophy, and teams like Ireland are important. I know a lot of people have said that this is a boring World Cup, this, that. Yes, if Australia and England play the final, it seems like it's a boring World Cup because they have been playing forever. But if you actually go back to the matches and see, it's not like it was a one-sided match. Mostly it was a fairly, I wouldn't
mostly
say...
it didn't look like that it was an associated nation.
Yes. And that's kudos to each one of them.
Yes.
But the problem with associated nations over the years have been, Snehashish, once the World Cup is over, I understand budgets, but when you have to...
You cannot stop there.
If you want to play a World Cup, you cannot say that, because of budget, we cannot do. you have to, and I think, you know, the ICC also will play a role in it, and we should be able to see more games. Why not have more tri-series between the associated nations itself, and then drop in 1 or 2 bilateral series against the against the bigger sides, and you will see the results improving.
Absolutely. So let's see how Ireland do in near future. Obviously, as we discussed, that the way they played in the World Cup, it shows again some promises. But again, you need to play more. You need to gain those experience, and that is how you can become more consistent, more competitive in a bigger tournament like World Cup. So let's see how they do. So thank you guys for joining in. Hopefully you like the video, and if you like the video, then obviously share and subscribe the channel as well. And please follow DevSource for all the latest updates. Thank you.